Hello, mech fans, and welcome to the Valhalla Club. Grab a Fusionaire and join us as we talk BattleTech and the latest happenings around the Colorado BattleTech community.
Good evening, and welcome to the Valhalla Club, the number one spot to discuss Colorado BattleTech. Tonight, I am joined by Matthew, Big Dad Energy, Northman, Benjamin, Uphill Both Ways, BourBen.
Damn right.
And Michael, don't be that guy, the Viking. And our guest host tonight is Rick, get to the chopper, Dangers.
Hi, you guys invited me back?
Finally, I'm your bartender, John the Caveman. Strap into your command couch, override that reactor safety switch right now, and we are going to dive into some good BattleTech content. Damn. So close, but good enough.
Almost had it.
All right.
That was
incredible. Good enough, or do you want me to clip it back, Mike?
That was good. I
don't even know
I
who
have
this
my
John
doubts
is.
that you could do it again.
I'm pumped. I'm tired.
Jet lag.
Yeah. All right. So, as is our usual, we're going to start off by talking about our hobby progress, piles of shame, and games played over the last month. Let's start it off with the silver-haired fox, Benjamin.
Hobby progress this month. I started playing with magnets a little bit. So I've been doing a lot of drilling and trying to figure out the whole magnetizing of a VTOL kind of thing.
I try to do as much drilling as I can in a month.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I get there too eventually. But I did get a game in with Max Lagaro up at Westminster. Lagaro? Max.
Yeah,
the Max, yeah.
Testing the pirate scenario he wrote up?
Yeah, that was pretty good. I know we gave him some good feedback, me and John, and then he was going to go back and tweak it a little bit. I think he ran it again Friday, but I wasn't able to get out there Friday. And then I've just been working on some writing stuff I'm doing for Catalyst, trying to get it done before tomorrow. So that's my hobby progress.
Nice. How about you, Mike?
I actually have a little bit to report on for the first time in months.
The air
I know, right? It's not a lot, but so we had that Trials of Bloodright down in Pueblo, and we'll talk about that when we cover games played. But I put together, it was set in the Ill Clan era, so I took a Clan Wolf Dominator because I had it in a blister for months, and I was like, what I'm going to take to this, this event, and I'm looking through the MUL, and I'm like trying to decide what I want, and then I see Dominator, and I'm like, oh snap, that's right, I got one of those. So I glued it together, put it together, painted it up to about an 80% solution, and it has remained at that point. But I put together a Metal Mini, and I got to an 80% on a Dominator, and it looks dope. What paint scheme did I go with? I think it was Gamma Galaxy Wolf. I think that's right.
What is their scheme?
It's so I ended up asking this question in the Wolfnet chat because it occurred to me that so we all know the Star League, right? They had their paint scheme, and it was what OD green for pretty much all of them, and that makes sense, right? But and then you look at all the Clan Wolf schemes, and there's a myriad of schemes. So I was like, what in the hell does a Star League Clan Wolf paint scheme look like? And we don't know, because we have no knowledge from Clan Wolf at all from Terra. Books are now reaching 3152, and we still don't know shit about what the hell is happening on Terra. So I was kind of like, okay, well, if it were me, because we know Alaric's all about symbols, this, that, and the other. I was like, so he's probably try to incorporate some form of a Star League scheme while blending that with some Wolf stuff. So I was looking through Unit Color Compendium, and I think it was Gamma Galaxy. And their paint scheme has a, oh crap, let me Hold on. Let me pull it up.
I'm just looking at it now in the podcast paint channel. It looks really good, man.
Yeah, I just went there and I'm scrolling up. But yeah, so it's like an OD green on the top and it fades to a, flat earth brown on the bottom. And so I was like, that makes so you got like a wolf brown on the bottom and OD green on top. And I was like, that seems like a good marry between Star League and wolf. So I went with Gamma Galaxy.
That's cool, man.
But that's my very small amount of hobby progress. But I have something to report. So yay me.
Yeah, that is the thing. Yes, congrats, Mike. That was fantastic. We need to get you signed up for more events so that you can panic paint more things.
I do that very, very efficiently.
Yeah.
Ben, what'd you tell me the night before when I was texting you?
I said you're the king of last minute painting.
Oh yeah, and it was like it's who I am. Painting in a hotel room at Vegas with an airbrush set up. Last minute, man, that's all me.
How minor does the event have to be? Because I can just get you to sign up for like a Monday night.
I'm anticipating my workload / stress level to drastically decrease once we get back from NTC at the end of September, because that's when I go into like out process mode. I'll have less than a year left on active, and that's when I'm like going to be doing all my Syphil tap and trying to get a CSP and all this stuff. So
you'd be even less useful than normal.
I'll be checking out slowly. We'll see. Who knows? It's hard for me to check out, but yeah.
While we got you here, Rick, what have you been up to?
Well, we were doing the dip the tips after the painting episode that you guys did with me.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been painting hovercraft during those. Progress has been slowed due to like just trying to juggle babies while painting stuff. So I got my new kid, and
babies plural. You have
just the one, but he makes it sound like there's more.
Yeah.
But he's like crawling around now, so he's like trying to pull over my painting lights, and I can't really airbrush things around him. But yeah, really, that's all the painting I've gotten done. But I was on leave for the past 2 weeks down in Florida, and then up to see the in-laws in Illinois. So I got quite a bit of reading done. I got through first 2 books of the Blood of Kerensky trilogy. It's interesting reading those again after I think the last time I read them was probably 15 years ago, and actually comprehending the whole story going on and catching things a lot more fun.
Love them.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
Oh, I just said I love them. I love that series. That's all.
Is that the Aiden Pride one?
No, Aiden Pride is Jade Phoenix trilogy.
This is the Phelan Kell Kai.
Yep.
I Allard Liao.
Yeah.
Is it? I've always I know pronunciations. I've always said Liao. Is it Lao or Liao?
Yeah. Who cares? They're compellers.
But yeah, right.
I don't know.
I will say the first half of the second book was just like it was weird watching Kai and Victor being like super badasses in the first book, and then going to Wolf Dragoon's boot camp and just being like
that
high school
one,
kids and
13-year-olds.
Slow burn that first half of the second book, and then that just kind of catapults into the rest. But still love it. Yep.
Yeah,
sure.
I really like the Phelan Ward bits.
There are times that I feel like all of BattleTech fiction revolves around the Dragoons. Because like even like looking up unit history, it's like, oh, these are the Dragoons, and the Dragoons trained them, and then they beat them, and you're like, oh, okay, Dragoons. Kind of like Star Wars became the Skywalker saga. They could just name this the Dragoon saga. Close enough.
It's not inaccurate.
But that's awesome, man. Yes, and kudos to you for running Dip to Tip Wednesday, which has actually gotten me to paint way more than I used to.
Yeah, speaking of that, we ran a poll, and it looks like people in the Colorado Discord want Thursdays, and the people in the Valhalla Club Discord want Wednesdays. So maybe we'll just do both. What do you guys think about that?
Why not both?
Yeah, why not both?
All right, yeah, why not both? I think we should get like a web camera too, so then like we can actually watch if like someone wants to hop in and see someone actually painting.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to do that because I'm a caveman. So
I know when Dave joins, he has his camera going.
But it's usually screen caps of him playing video games. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the last time he joined in, but was playing War Thunder the whole time.
It was like 2 weeks in a row he did that trash.
Yeah. The
only time he ever painted was like the first week.
Give Dave credit. He did paint a really nice Peacock Warhammer.
Oh, I saw that.
Warhammer. Yeah.
And I wanted to give a shout out to him for Hobby Time, even though he's not here.
And he doesn't do it during Hobby
Time.
And
the inspiration came from Zimmer on the podcast.
Yes.
Zimmer? Yeah.
Great. And then I think that just leaves you, Matt.
Yeah, it's been a little bit difficult with being in the move or being in the middle of like a month-long move from one place to another. But I have, with many drives back and forth with a moving truck, I have listened to so many podcast episodes. I listened to like most of the on the Origins over again, and a lot of the WolfNet ones, and all of the new ones coming out from BattleTech and from all the podcasts. I feel like I've listened to everything. So, and it's been really fun. Yeah, I don't know. That's basically all I've done through my drives is just listen to podcast episodes. So it's all in here.
Matt has consumed all the content.
Consumed it all, and I cannot reproduce it. So there you go.
Nice.
What about you, John?
I've been doing some painting on the Wednesdays. I've been steadily working away at a battalion of Avalon Hussars in like a 2-tone blue. And then I'm going to be arranging some trades of locals, and I want to put together a Nova Cat binary just for poops and giggles, because I want to have a little fun with that. And I also think that I'm going to start commission painting again, because I want more varied paint schemes. And I like painting. It's kind of like my stress relief in the evening. So if I can do that and have it fund my other hobbies, that'd be really cool. And I haven't done commissions for a couple of years. So, I'll probably do it again for another year or two and then take a break. You don't want your hobby to become, feel like a chore, but it's fun. And while we're talking about other podcasts that Matt brought up, I also want to give a shout out to Mike's efforts to put together a really cool resource for all of the podcasts that we host here on our Discord, including ourselves, of Mech and Men, BattleTech, the Origins of BattleTech, Mercenary Star, and Jesty's MRC content.
I will say that actually was not my idea. So the OneNote that is shared on the server, that was actually built and put together by Nate from BattleTech. It was his brainchild, and then it turned into, because it started in their booth channel on the server, seeing if like everyone was interested, and then so he started a private chat. And then apparently private chats can only have a maximum of 10 members. So when I tried to add all of you guys, it was like, we're at our limit. So I was like, all right, screw this. And I created the private content creator channel, and added everybody in it. And so now everybody's got access to it. But yeah, it's a OneNote.
So then shut up. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, continue.
Oh yeah. It's a OneNote that all of the BattleTech content creators, or at least the majority of, not everyone has like signed on yet, or necessarily even need it per se, because they've got their own things already set in stone. But it's a OneNote that a majority of the content creators can put stuff in. There's a tab for BattleTech, Mercenary Star, of Mechs and Men, on the Origins, and the Valhalla Club so far. So far, the majority of folks have just like the contact info tab. I just put in all of our drinks of the month on there. And then like BattleTech has a lot of their custom mission sets and scenarios and stuff in there. But yeah, this was Nate's brainchild, and it'll be good to see where it goes. It's nice to have a one-stop shop for all of our stuff instead of needing 40 different resources to get all the things. It's just all in one location. So that's where it came from. But yeah.
Yeah. So shout out to you two, Mike and Nate. Nate for putting it together, and then Mike for spreading the word. Hopefully our listeners and other podcast listeners can use it. And it'll be a good source of knowledge going forward. I think Nate already has some cool scenarios in there. They're probably the most filled out. And then ours, it's looking like it's going to be drinking a month recipes will be our first entries. So good luck with those. They might sink your stomach like a submarine.
Yeah, and I already put this episode's drink of the month on there. We'll get there, Ben. Yeah. But I'll eventually put the rest of our event documents in there that we've had over the past year or so here in Colorado, from the Battle for Black Earth, and whatever else is in the documents channel.
Well, that was a great month of hobby progress for the Valhalla Club. It's one of the few ones where we actually all painted. This episode tonight, episode 11, we'll be covering a few different topics. Our main topic will be covering Solaris 7, both thematically and in the lore, and then also game-wise, because here in Colorado, we're going to start up a Solaris 7 League. And that's in the works, with a couple different people tinkering with it. It's very exciting. After that, we will have a deep dive on the Ryuken Yon, one of the Draconis Comine sneaky regiments. And then we will cover some past gaming, the big one being the Trials of Blood Right that occurred in Pueblo at game nights. Then, of course, Drink of the Month will be led by BourBen. And then we'll have our shout-outs for upcoming events and shout-outs for outstanding individuals in the community. That being said, let's dive into Solaris 7. Michael, what is Solaris 7?
So Solaris 7 is commonly known as the Game World. It is located in Lyran space. Think gladiator-style combat, just in mechs, because that's 100% exactly what it is. It's a big gambling scene, as any gladiator combat, one-on-one bout UFC-style fight should be. And that's basically what it is. It'll range from, so they generally array in weight classes. You've got your light, medium, heavy, assault weight classes, and then an open class, which is open to all the weight classes. There is one, technically class 1 is exoskeleton, but we're here for battle mechs, so we're here for classes 2 through 6. Because no one cares about an exoskeleton. That's not what we're here for. But yeah, so in Solaris City, there's like five main areas. Each kind of, was it like owned or themed?
I think they're called autonomous zones, aren't they? Where
that would make sense.
Each of the factions can kind of have their own little thing going on.
Yeah, each of the 5 houses. Yeah. Let's see. You've got, where are the city names? Because you've got Silesia. Well, yeah.
Solaris City is the central piece, and then you got like the 5 great house areas around it.
Right. So Silesia is the Steiner.
German. That's got to be Lyran. Yep.
Yeah. So Silesia is the Lyran zone. Silesia is where Thor's Shield Hall is located, which holds the Valhalla Club. Where are the other?
You got the Black Hills. That's Davian.
Okay, thanks, Ben.
I'm helping you out, buddy.
Hey. Lifeline.
Why have an lore expert on your show if you're not going to use them?
Right.
I was just going to let you struggle for a little while. That's how you get stronger.
It's true.
So the Black Hills is the Davian area. That's known for,
tea and crumpets.
Tea and Crumpus, yeah. They've also got the Pelican Club there, which we'll cover later for a reason.
Okay.
Starting to come together.
All coming together.
What else you got, Mike?
Montenegro.
Uh-oh.
There you go.
You got Montenegro, which is the
Free Worlds League. I'm guessing, by the way.
Yes.
Hey. We somewhat planned for this. I have a lot of tabs open, I've got tabs for each of the arenas in each section.
Wow.
Okay, here we go. So, all right, where's it at? So in Silesia, right? You have
backtracked.
Yep, we're going back just a little bit. In Silesia, you have the arena of the Steiner Coliseum. All right. In the Black Hills, which is the Davian section, you have the arena called the Boreal Reach. Let's see.
We have a maneuver called something like that in the Navy. Involves reaching.
I'm sure you do.
Yep.
There's Montenegro, which is governed by House Merrick. So that zone is the Merrick section. Their arena is the infamous Factory. So the Factory is located in Montenegro. And then in the Kobe sector of Solaris City, it is the Draconis Comine
Welcome to
zone.
Kobe City.
Right. Their arena.
You can cut that. But I thought it was funny.
Their arena is Ishiyama, which is Japanese for the Iron Mountain. And then in Cathay, the sector Cathay is the Capellan sector of Solaris, and they have the jungle. So that is the 5 zones and the 5 primary arenas on Solaris 7.
I just want to say that if I was in the BattleTech universe, my assumption would be that the Steiners would have the best stadium. I'm imagining like accordions
have the most bling.
And like people in those like funny little green shorts and suspenders,
like a beer garden in the middle of it that you can't.
Exactly.
Anyone who destroys a beer is like disqualified or something.
I mean, the Coliseum is pretty epic, though. I mean, it's got movable walls that pop up on you in the middle of the fighting and stuff. You know, it's legit.
Robots destroy each other, and then there's just a well-endowed blonde woman going, Wiener Schnitzel, Wiener Schnitzel. You know? I mean, that's got to be the best. You can't
maybe in the stands.
There's a little short guy over there in lederhosen. It's like, I know a little German.
You went to Brazil. But so my introduction to Solaris 7 was in MechWarrior 4 Mercenaries. And I think that's where a large number of people that were especially growing up so they probably had their early teen years maybe in the early 2000s when MechWarrior 4 came out, and then MechWarrior 4 Mercs. The Solaris battles, I would spend all my time in MechWarrior 4 Mercenaries at Solaris, and I would do all of the available matches until I couldn't do any more, and then I would finally go somewhere else and do a couple missions just to come back to Solaris and keep fighting in the weight classes in the open class. In the game, my two favorite arenas there was the Steiner Coliseum and the Factory. God forbid if you didn't have jump jets and couldn't jump over the lava section that was in the Factory. But yeah,
I like lava. It's like Bowser's Factory sounding like.
Yeah, but heat's a thing in battle mechs. I'm not sure if you're aware.
I play Alpha Strike, so I'm not. Actually.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, if you play me, you're aware that it's a thing, Alpha Strike.
Maybe you could pass another crown to heat.
But so I think that's where the majority of folks that were gaming in the early 2000s had their first real introduction to Solaris, and that's when we all fell in love with Solaris and Duncan Fisher and all of that goodness. And I've always loved the allure of Solaris. When I first started reading the novels couple years ago, and I got to the Warrior trilogy, and they ended up in Solaris, I was so hype. And then for just reading, I couldn't put the book down. Reading through the Solaris matches in the Warrior trilogy, I was just hype, man. But yeah, Solaris 7. It's a gaming world, gladiator, UFC, and mechs type thing ish. But yeah, that is the background. Unless Ben has anything else to add of Solaris 7.
I mean, did you know that Anchorage is a city in Solaris? On Solaris?
Ooh.
I didn't, but I love Solaris even more now because Anchorage is dope.
It's in Greyland.
That's a good name for Alaska, Greyland.
Or actually, it's on Equitus, which is the other continent on Solaris.
I think Ben has access to the author's wiki.
Man,
Ben has access
Sarna, bro.
to quite a few resources.
I'm just on Sarna looking at shit.
Yeah, the writer's wiki.
That's how I spend my day.
And not every fight. Duncan Fisher is the announcer for Solaris 7, voiced by George Ledoux. So George Ledoux or George Ledoux?
Ledoux.
George Ledoux.
Ledoux.
So I'll just say George Ledoux. First of all, he's got an amazing voice, and it never gets old. When I'll go on YouTube and just pull up his bloopers that was recorded for the MechWarrior 4 Mercenaries, and they're hilarious. They're on YouTube. You can find them. But so he's the announcer for Solaris 7 matches. And they brought him back
for
like a
radio person. I like that.
Yeah. When MechWarrior Online attempted their Solaris 7 bit, they brought him back. And so he's got recordings in there as the announcer. MechWarrior Online didn't do Solaris 7 right, so it flopped.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. But that's who Duncan Fisher is.
Cool.
And not every matches are coordinated by the super billionaire people or the stables that are on Solaris 7, or challenges between individual mech jocks, as they're commonly referred to. And you can go, so even here on Sarna where it says weapons dead, so you could have a match where all of your weapons are offline and you're only using melee combat, and ammunition bins might not be empty, which could still cause crowd-pleasing effects during the battle. So not every Solaris battle has to be like a ranged fight. You could absolutely turn it into melee combat, and that's one of the things I love about Solaris 7 is because anything and everything can happen. It's up for grabs. It's wild, man. Solaris 7's dope.
Sounds like some fun.
John's going to the bathroom, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, no, I got distracted by Duncan Fisher.
Reading on Sarna?
No. His voice reminded me of a program that was on NPR back in the day. And they'd tell you it'd be a story, a radio fiction, and then I figured out it was This American Life. Yeah. Have you guys ever listened to those ones? Oh my god!
Yep.
I used to laugh so hard as a kid listening to those. But anyways, completely derailed. Sorry, guys.
Oh man, I've never gone from Duncan Fisher to This American Life. That's a pretty far little stretch there.
Yeah, that's wild.
I'm here for you. You did great, Mike. I don't know. Ben, I bet you're itching to jump in here with some lore. Do you like Solaris? Are you a gladiator type guy?
Yeah, man. I'm a big fan of it. I mean, kind of like Mike, I cut my teeth on it with the Warrior trilogy and stuff like that. When it came out, I was a big fan of that. I mean, just reading about, Justin Allard and, or Justin Liao at the time, and him and Gray Noten, and, the whole behind the scenes type stuff, it really reminded me of WWF type stuff, I mean, it's all flash and glitz and, lots of shit talking and trash talking and people going out and getting screwed up. And, and then they actually had a Solaris 7 box set that came out back in the, early 90s, I think.
94?
Yeah, early 90s. And that was pretty badass because you had maps for all of the different arenas that you could play on. So it was pretty legit. So it was pretty cool. And I guess we're going to talk about that other thing that came out lately about it too.
Yeah, I heard there's another box that came out dealing with that.
New box set? Say what?
You degenerates in Colorado Springs bought them all out already.
Oh, no, maybe.
No, yeah.
That's why I bought mine in middle of nowhere, Illinois.
I only bought one. Can confirm. Other folks bought more than one. In their defense, Target did have a sale going on. Buy two, get one for games.
Yeah.
And I mean that
wanted more Centurions and Riflemen.
Well, I know, yeah, I know, Seth White Fox. He mentioned he grabbed 2 boxes, and then his free box was a D&D box. And so I know not everyone bought 3, Essentials boxes, because that's what it's called. It's the BattleTech Essentials box. It's sold at Target. It's what, 20, 25 bucks?
25, and then you get a $20 discount for the Catalyst store inside.
There's a code in there for $20 off the Catalyst store, essentially making that box $5. And for the 2 Solaris specific mechs in that box, they're quick Solaris. I'm gonna call it a supplement because it's a one pager front and back with the Solaris rules, the Solaris map, new Solaris map, and then essentially just the quick start rules is the only other thing left. But yeah, that's definitely worth essentially $5. So take that $20 coupon, go buy you a T-shirt or a rule book or whatever.
More mechs.
More mechs. Go.
If you're new, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Buy more, don't paint them. That's the key.
We can't have a pile of shame segment if there's not a pile of shame. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, there's a guy on the Colorado BattleTech Discord named Devin. I think he's up in Fort Collins. At least that's what he said. He got his second box or something. He's putting it together to give to charity. I'm not sure. He's got some foundation that he's going to donate it to. He's just going to laminate the maps. I said we should probably organize someone to paint the mechs and send them out with painted mechs already. If it's going to some kids club that plays games or something.
Yeah, something about college students getting with
kids who need a mentor or something.
Kids who need help, So he's donating it to that. If somebody wants to
powered by partners.
There we go. So yeah, he's donating a box to a good cause. So shout out to you, brother, for doing that.
Foco wanted to paint some mechs. I know someone who would enjoy it.
Yeah, giving back to the community. I love it. And that's how you build community. This is the best community, hands down. But yeah, so that's the rundown of the Essentials box, which is kind of what gave me the new light bulb to try and do some more Solaris themed things here in Colorado.
Yeah, so we know Solaris is a little different than the usual classic BattleTech. What are the differences, and why would people want to play this thing?
We're talking about the Mike's big idea, or
no,
Solaris
just Solaris rules themselves.
So what came in the Essentials box? It's pretty straightforward. It's just standard, classic BattleTech. The map in there it's that one side's kind of like a grasslands with hard packed gravel, or whatever it is. But the other side is an arena. And if you've read the Warrior trilogy, you'll know that the arenas, some of them have walls that come up and go down, so the arena is constantly changing. And that's exactly what is happening on this arena map that's included in the Essentials box. And in there, they also have stables. They've got 5 stables. Now, in the lore, there's more than 5 stables, way more. But for the Essentials box, they've got 5 stables. Each one is aligned to a specific house. And each one gets specific bonuses based on whatever conditions. For instance, I don't have the supplement in front of me right now. It's in the garage.
I'm looking at it right now. So there's... You're talking about the 5 stables for the 5 houses?
Take it away, Rick.
So Bromley stables, they're from the Free Worlds League, which is House Merrick. Twice per game, a player basically grant yourself a +1 initiative bonus, and you have to declare it before you roll dice. So it could help you, and it could be worthless, but you don't get to see that you lost by or tied or something, and then say get a +1. Overlord stables, Lyran Commonwealth. They like to shoot at short range. They get a -1 to hit at short range, but a +1 to hit at long range. So typical Lyrans trying to get up close and personal. Silver Dragon stables are, of course, the Draconis Comine. It's very like Western-looking dragon. It's not a very Asian-looking dragon on their stable. It's like a King Arthur dragon. But they adept at using terrain as cover, imposing an additional +1 to hit modifier for any attack, like sneaky ninjas, not samurai. I don't know if that I like how that it's not very thematic to
dragons are known to be very stealthy, Rick.
That's true. Yeah. Cast invisibility. Starlight stables is House Davian. Any weapon attack against a Starlight mech suffers a +1 to hit if the mech expended more than 3 MP that turn. That seems really good. It's just like +1 TMM.
Yeah.
If you do more than a
walk.
It's just expend 3 MP, right? That doesn't even mean like you expend an MP just a turn.
Yeah,
right?
Dave and I did a practice run of his Golden Derby rule set, which we'll get to a little bit later. But we used the stables in the Essentials box, and that was one comment I had. I was like, expend 3 MP. So if I just turn around
in place 3 times,
yeah. I was like, it should be 3 hexes moved, not 3 MP. But I didn't write it. But yeah.
The last one, Tandric stables, House Liao. Receive a -1 to hit for weapon attacks made at range of 4 hexes or less. However, they prefer shorter, faster battles. If the scenario lasts more than 6 turns, they receive a -1 to their initiative roll each turn thereafter, starting on turn 7. So
basically, these are like they just gave us more SPAs.
They're like stable specific SPAs.
But anyone from that stable. So if you're doing more than like one character, I guess they could all get them. I don't know. Honestly, they're all kind of okay, and then the Davian one is just amazing.
The Davian one was good. We played 2 rounds yesterday. I had I think it was the Capellan one, where you get the -1 for, what was it, short range?
At 4 hexes or less, so it doesn't really matter what your range bracket is. Just 4 or less.
And then once you hit turn 6, you get the -1 to your initiative. So I had that one for our first game played, and then I had the Davian one for 3 MP spent, and I had a really fast medium mech. I used a Daedalus 3C or C3, one or the other, and I knocked out an Orion with it. Because
did you say you like shot him in the face a couple times?
I unleashed an SRM barrage, and 2 of them hit the cockpit. So he passed the first consciousness check on a 3-up, and then the second consciousness check is a 5-up, and he rolled a 4.
Man,
so he fell down, and then got fall damage, and then he critted his own leg, and then he was still passed out. So I moved around and did a ton more damage the next turn, and then he still failed his wake up roll, and
just slept through his own death.
And the rules he's got, if you're knocked out for 2 turns, you auto lose. So 45-ton Daedalus took out a 70 or 75. I think it's 70-ton Orion.
And the crowd roared in appreciation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a good game.
It was a compelling crowd, so they had their roar.
Yeah.
So
we did it on the maps that was provided in the Essential Box, and both matches, we completed 2 matches in 2 hours, so essentially an hour apiece. So that's pretty good for Classic.
So
that's really fast.
I'm assuming because this is an Essentials box, these are kind of like trimmed down Solaris 7 rules. Maybe Ben, if you know kind of more of the complete Solaris 7 rule set, what are some things that maybe are included that aren't just you get these kind of SPA things for being part of the
I don't have the Essentials box. I go off of the memory of my old Solaris 7 box, which it kind of changed the turns a little bit.
I was going to say, I just learned about this in the Discord today. There was like dueling rules or something.
Yeah, it kind of, because a normal CBT turn is what, like 10 seconds or whatever?
Yeah, something like that.
So the Solaris 7 kind of broke that up into 5-second turns where you could move one turn and shoot the next turn, or you could like load ammo and charge a PVC in a turn. It was very like even more granular than regular BattleTech or regular Total Warfare is now. So and I can't remember off the top of my head. I don't.
Yeah, Randy was kind of explaining that a little bit. I don't have the OG Solaris 7 box set. I know Josh was saying he used to have it. I don't know if he still has it. He brought up the dueling rules, but Randy mentioned that essentially, like you said, Ben, it's essentially halftime. I think it was, or as like the way he put it was, one round of Classic was 15 seconds, and then Solaris was 7, so still halved, essentially. And then, so one round was you could shoot, and then shoot and move. Next round was move and either reload or recharge, this, that, and the other. So you get a little bit more maneuvering and a little bit less shooting.
It kind of sounded like it depended on the weapon system too, maybe. That like autocannon, like an AC-10 had to reload, but maybe an AC-2 could just keep firing. I don't know.
Yeah.
That was just how
and
I
like
interpreted
probably like your lasers could probably fire every turn, but your PPC needs to recharge.
I think we're all speculating though.
Absolutely, 100%. Because I've never read these rules before.
Rule set altogether. It's like never been created anywhere. Yeah, it's awesome.
Catalyst, print it.
Make it happen, man.
That's what errata's for.
Yeah. I just pulled up found my one book. I got the player's guide from the original one.
Because I think the more developed rule set, at least the one that I know Randy's played there in Longmont, you're not there just to destroy things. You're there to get kind of claim and fame and do cool stuff and win while kind of winning the crowd over. And that's how you really get the money to kind of purchase new things and stuff. So is that included in the Essentials
and that is
box?
the way of Solaris.
Yeah.
In the Essentials box, no.
Okay.
There's no money and fame, this, that, and the other. It's very beginner box style Solaris.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's basically, I'm looking at it right now. It's basically in the box. You have a map sheet, some cardboard tokens with a little bit of terrain, some extra mechs, like cardboard standees, the quick start rules, which look like they're pretty much out of any other beginner box, and then a one-pager front and back of Solaris 7 rules. One page is the arena map rules, and the other page is the stables that I just read. So it looks like it's a beginner box with a Solaris 7 brand. It's not really full Solaris 7 rules.
So I wonder if they have, it sounds like this is another, like, we draw you in to the universe, we draw you into the game system, and then there should be more depth into something. I wonder if, Ben, maybe if they're kind of developing another kind of more full rule set for Solaris 7. Rather than
no clue, man.
I don't know.
I mean, no clue. I know the original one was more. It was definitely had the mech combat in it, but it was more geared towards like the MechWarrior RPG type stuff. So I mean, you could do mech combat with it, and then they also had a supplement to it called the Reaches, which came with its own set of maps and a bunch of like extra mechs and stuff like that, like the Sasquatch, the Copperhead, and the Werewolf, and a bunch of like MechWarrior 2 RPG archetypes and stuff like that. So it's definitely geared towards the RPG side, I think, a little bit more. So I don't know what we'll see with this new, if there's going to be any more supplements for it or whatnot.
I would say this box, if you're looking for a Solaris 7 book of rules, this is not it. It is a great beginner box, though. It's got 2 mechs, the half record sheets, the $20 discount code for their website, and it looks like a new fiction called Spanner in the Works by Mike Stackpole. So I don't know if that's
that was a great little story.
Yeah. I haven't read it yet, but it looks cool.
Well, when I was Googling just stuff about Solaris 7, I ran across, like you were saying, Ben, kind of a supplement to one of the MechWarrior RPGs. Everyone needs to Google MechWarrior's Guide to Solaris 7 and just look at the front cover. The front cover.
Yeah, that's amazing. Another good supplement to it. I mean, that's, really, the MechWarrior's Guide to Solaris 7 is one of those kind of core supplements for, a lot of the different little, what do you call them? Little acorns or whatnot, nuggets of little shit like that, I mean, even the original Solaris book has got, each chapter is devoted to one of the sections like Cathay or Black Hills or Montenegro or whatnot. And, it breaks down like hospitals and what mech repair facilities are around and in those facilities and stuff. And, I mean, hotels, entertainment, tourist services, shit like that. So it's got a lot of very MechWarrior RPG stuff in it,
Yeah, it definitely seems to play to that.
You weren't kidding. The cover art on that book.
It's awesome.
Oh, holy shit.
All right, I'm going to have to look this up now.
The dude.
Oh, man. That is wild.
The guy's playing the holographic one. That is the best part. Oh, man, it's sweet.
The Davian dude just looks drunk as shit. The Merrick dude's eyes about to pop out of his head.
It's incredible.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like this.
I know this is not a visual podcast, but I wish you all could,
Where's the high-res version?
That's why we described it.
It's like, look at the cover of MechWarrior's Guide to the Clans. That's another good one in the same theme.
Googling now. Well, at least it wasn't me that got sidetracked this time. Everyone else.
Anyhow, back to Solaris.
Fuck?
Oh my.
Told you.
This Diamond Shark guy's trying to sell hard gel. And these other guys aren't sure if they're supposed to ingest it, like through snorting or through needles or what. This is like a medieval. This is something special.
Wow.
What was the first one called?
The
MechWarrior's Guide to Solaris 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
The clan one. I see the jar of hard gel. What the fuck?
Just gonna put that on some peanut butter and jelly.
What is this shit?
Hard gel. Come get it.
What the fuck? I can't right now, dude.
What is happening?
Like someone's like holding someone else's belt in the background. I don't get it. What is going on?
This dude's trying to like just embody Captain Jack Sparrow's jar of dirt, but it's a fucking jar of hard gel.
I got a jar of dirt. I got a jar of hard gel.
Wow.
Oh
yeah, man. There's a lot of good stuff out there.
That was a good derailment. Thanks, Ben. Cheers.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Way better than VR. I like it VR, but
oh, look at the big badges on their chests. Oh, annoying.
Oh, I'm reading the back of the book now. Create your own immortality.
Gosh.
Guy getting hugged from behind.
For 2 centuries, the clans have genetically bred their warriors. Clansmen are evaluated from birth, with their entire lives revolving around trials of might makes right that whittle away the chaff and create the ultimate soldiers.
Ben, you don't happen to have this one, do you?
Oh, I do.
Oh,
I
man,
do.
you got to take a better picture of it. I'm missing some detail here. I want more.
All right, hold on. Let me see if I can grab it.
These need to be like put in a digital format.
Yeah, you got to scan your copies, man. I got a scanner, Ben. You should bring them over. I'll scan them. I get a high-res version. The world needs it.
Yeah,
dive into this unique warrior's culture and battle your way to glory to gain a blood name and pass your superior genetic legacy to the next generation.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, we got to get back to it. John, you're going to start us back up in the Golden Irby, right?
Oh, man. Guys, I can only take like one more of these, okay? I've had 2 drinks, going on 3, and I don't even know how to do it.
Start us back up, buddy.
So I see on the list Golden Irby. What are we talking about, Golden Irby?
All right, so the Golden Irby, I'll take it. All right, so the Golden Irby is going to be a Solaris event at the Battle for the Sphere 3, which is our 3rd annual Battle for the Sphere event, which is a beginner-focused event. Similar to last year, there's going to be a morning and afternoon schedule with tables for, learn to play, new to the game, Alpha Strike, Classic, Wolfnet, so teaching you how to play the Wolfnet games. And then for those that are interested in a in a less new player experience, so veterans essentially that have been playing for a couple years now, if they're not teaching, they can opt to enter into the Golden Irby, which was spawned, I forget what month, last year. Dave printed up this 3D printed Irby as a traveling trophy. He ended up winning it. It was in December. That's what it was. He ended up winning it. So he's going to be, I think he said, redoing the 3D print to make it a little better. He did print a base for it. So now every year, the person that wins the Golden Irby will get their name added to the base. Similar to the Stanley Cup, right? So that was the idea for the trophy. But this year's Golden Irby event is a Solaris battle. Let me pull up that rules packet.
Oh, man.
All right, so the Golden Irby. Like I said, this year's going to be a Solaris battle using the Civil War era. So Civil War is the era. For the faction, when you get to that page on the MUL, you are going to select the Solaris 7 tab. For this event, players may only bring 1 mech or Omni-Mech. A player may elect to field 2 mechs, but only if those 2 mechs are urban mechs. So in the Civil War era Solaris 7 section, there's only 2 urban mechs available. I don't have them open right now, and I'm not going to. But that's the only way to get 2 Irbies and 2 mechs in the arena. BV is maxed. The cap is 2300 BV 2.0. Pilot and gunnering skills need to be separated by no more than 1. So you can't have a gunnery 2 and piloting 4. It needs to be gunnery 2, piloting 3, max 1 separation. The worst skill you can have is a 4-4. The max skill, the best skill you can have is a 1-1. So no 0-0s, 0-1s, or anything like that. There's going to be no quad mechs, no LAMs, no custom units or named variants. There's a couple of banned units specific to that list. The Flashfire, the Werewolf, the Aquagladius. I don't know how to say that.
Aquagladius.
Aquagladius, thank you. And the Hachiwara. Alternate ammo and physical weapons. Alternate ammo listed and physical weapons listed in the Battle Mech Manual are allowed. Mechs may be selected with melee weapons, not in the BMM, but you won't be able to use them. So if your melee weapon is listed in Total Warfare or Tech Manual or whatever, you wouldn't be able to use it. So this is a strictly Battle Mech Manual event. Quirks are in use. Although we were looking at the quirks yesterday when we were doing our test run, and a lot of the quirks are irrelevant to actual gameplay. So rugged or difficult to maintain don't actually affect the battle, but narrow, low profile, no arms, that does affect actual gameplay. So keep an eye there. But yeah, so that is the Golden Irby Solaris event that is going to be taking place during the Battle for the Sphere 3, which is taking place at Hobbytown, Westminster on September 23rd. That is the Golden Derby.
Yay! Hobbytown. Nice. So some Solaris 7.
Take home a big golden Irby. You know what I mean?
Kind of, sort of, maybe.
Someone's going to put 2 Irbies on the field. Someone has to.
I know that Rick has already said.
Will one be a Suburban mech? That's the real question. You know what I mean?
Well, now you have to look up, see which the 2 options are.
Well,
they're pretty standard Irbies. There's no Suburban mechs on the Solaris list.
Would you say Civil War?
Yeah, Civil War.
Mm-hmm. Blues versus Grays, Rick. Come on. Good job.
Well, not so much so we got the R60, very run-of-the-mill, right? I think that's the AC-10 version, like the super standard one. And
is there an R69 though? Oh,
there is Urban Mech R69.
Oh yeah,
John's got some alcohol.
Which is the other one available.
Nice.
What's that one have? Now I have to look up Urban Mech Sunsarna.
Meme achieved. We've done it.
R69 Free Worlds League upgrades the autocannon to a UAC 10 and the laser to ER small laser.
Okay.
And ferrofiber. Yeah, I mean, I don't know
Two
how.
Those guys paint one with a giant blue 6 on it, and the other one with a giant pink 9 on it, and you're good to go.
Well, I don't know how this. So the Alpha Strike card is 222, small, short, medium, long. Yeah, but how does
really good?
It's really good. How doesn't UAC 10 give you give you long range damage at all?
Is it just assuming that both of them hit every single time? It must, or at least it round. I know in the conversion rounds, so it has to be at least 1.5 or higher.
Yeah,
1 divided by 10. So it's assuming it does at least 15 damage.
Sometimes it gets a bump for ammo as well,
but,
if it has enough ammo and stuff.
The question is, the AC-10 on the original version only has medium damage. How is this getting long range damage?
Does a UAC go out to 18 hexes?
Yeah, small.
This is what happens when I play more Alpha Strike. Then it does go out to 18 hexes.
Then that's it, baby. You're in the clear. Bingo, bango.
Irby magic.
Barely made it.
Irby magic.
And let's see, Mike. Do you wanna talk more about this Colorado Solaris 7 League?
Between the Essentials box, the Golden Irby rule set, I got the idea to try and make a statewide Colorado Solaris 7 Championship League. We started a chat yesterday, which was Saturday the 24th of June.
Dating the cast.
I know, right? On the Colorado BattleTech Discord server. While I was having my practice game, so I got the idea about a week ago, and while I was having my practice game with Dave yesterday, I presented it to him, and then once he got home, started the channel, presented it to the masses, and then that chat has exploded.
It has.
Tons
messages in there. It's insane.
Yeah, in 24 hours. Yeah, tons of good ideas. We've got a couple up in the Denver area, specifically Randy running Solaris League already. He's got, I think he said 8 to 10 players. So he's well versed in Solaris, and he's been in the chat, and we've had multiple others given their ideas, this, that, and the other. So we're trying to build a statewide Solaris 7 championship league. We're looking at probably every 6 months would be a season with a 1-to-1 season era progression. So if we start in the Succession Wars Lost Tech for season 1, season 2 would be Renaissance, and season 3 would be Clan Invasion, and so on and so forth. There will probably be phased entry, like it'll probably be super simple for season 1, and then maybe something like season 2 will introduce, okay, now you can do mods, modify your unit, or something along those lines. And then season 3 will be an additional thing to help broaden the scope of the game. So that's what we're looking at. And then if/when we launch this thing, the chat in the Colorado BattleTech server will be closed and then reopened on the Valhalla Club Discord server. Each stable, maybe depending on how it's laid out, would get their own like private chat where they can discuss tactics, lessons learned, with various opponents, tactics observed, this, that, and the other, as well as a public chat where the various stables and pilots and mech jocks can talk shit to each other, because that's what happens in these style events. It's
That's what
right.
you're here for.
Yeah. And then we'll essentially bring back the news segment that we had for the first, 3 episodes? But it'll be Solaris, like the Colorado Solaris League focused recap. So battle reports will be posted on the Valhalla Club Discord server. We'll pull from that to make our news segment, and then we'll also probably pull funny moments, remarks, oh no he didn't, from the public chats that happen right in the server, and report on that as any good sportscaster would do. And so yeah, it has the potential to be a shitload of fun. I put a poll up today in the Colorado server. I tagged everyone. There's been a lot of everyone tags this weekend. Apologies for that. But definitely indicate your interest in participating in such an event.
Is this something that can be done over MegaMech, Mike, or is there going to be special rules?
So we definitely want to incorporate. So depending on how the stables work out, stables honestly is what has me hung up the most out of everything, because it's like, okay, do we have groups of homies form their own stables? Do we have local game stores be the stable, and whatever game store you're closest to, that's your stable? There's a few ideas floating around. We're working through it. We're probably going to have like all these people that have all these great ideas. We're probably going to hop in a voice chat here within the next few weeks, and maybe iron some of these details out and start really building this bad boy, because it's going to be bad, but it's going to be awesome. So unsure at the moment, but if we do, so there will be stables. There has to be stables. Depending on how we do them, I don't know. Now, if we include something similar to the Essentials box, where each stable gets its own bonus, or like maybe as the pilots in each stable accumulate fame, and the fame is now the stable's fame, then the stable could expend that fame to buy a bonus. At the moment, I don't know of any possible way to incorporate those bonuses into MegaMech. So if we do something along those SPA style stable bonuses, they won't be a part of any matches that happen in MegaMech. And so long as, and it shouldn't be a problem, so long as it's well articulated and like everyone understands, hey, this bonus you normally have on tabletop, you're not going to get it in MegaMech. But like it's all ideas at the moment. It's all in the works.
So
No idea how it's going to actually turn out.
Could be cool. Stay tuned.
Should be super cool. I posted this poll at 5:31 p.m. It's now 9:48. And the question was, and if you haven't responded to this poll yet, by the time the episode is published, if you would have interest in it. So far, we've got 14 people saying, hell yeah. 7 saying, count me out. But 22 saying, I'm a solid maybe. So this is already looking pretty good. There's over 320 members of the Colorado BattleTech server. So if you haven't yet, cast your vote, and we'll definitely continue to build this out. And it'll end up with its own segment and should be a pretty dope segment on the podcast. So, yeah.
It sounds awesome. It really depends how it, devil's in the details, but very exciting to just think about how it should work. I don't know. I really don't think. I feel like the stables should maybe be affiliated with the greater house stables, but I think it would be better if you just let homies create their own stables and have them be like the B League stables that are sponsored by some of these bigger, larger organizations or something. But everyone's going to have their own idea on how this should work.
Yeah, I mean, it can be lore affiliated with house or just regionally affiliated to. I like the lore affiliation better because, like, there's a lot of people in Colorado Springs North, right? And so if we've got 15 people a part of the Gamers Haven stable, and even if we keep it regionally focused, like Colorado Springs versus South Denver versus North Denver and the Gap region or whatever, I think that's not enough separation because then, like, the majority of the times it's the Colorado Springs folks facing the Colorado Springs folks. Yeah. So if you put them into stables and you put a cap on members in that stable, and you have those stables like house aligned, then that'll be good to generate some like that typical lore rivalry. But it also would require some moderation because I do know that there's a lot of Davian fans.
So here's what you do, right?
There's not a lot of Capellan fans, so it's like, okay, well, we can't have any more Davian stables like that. So.
What you could do is treat each of these player stables as like feeder teams for like Major League Baseball does. So they have like their 1 or 2 or 3 feeder teams that they train dudes on, and then they can both be sponsored by, say, House Davian, but still have to fight each other like any other stable because they're feeder teams. They're not on the big leagues yet.
Well, I also like the idea of having maybe like a draft where all the players who are interested will have like stable managers or captains, and then they draft their team and incentivize them to like draft from each of the locations. So then your stables can compete against each other in different areas.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, and you could have like the big game stores in each area be one of the locations on Solaris, one of the big 5 arenas or whatever.
That would be cool. It would take a lot of, I guess you could just show up and say,
like
your store is is the
Solaris night is like night a month or something. I don't know, but
yeah. I think with the Essentials box, Catalyst is kind of springboarding themselves to. I mean, they definitely set the stage, and it sold out everywhere this day. Day one. So I think they have the metrics at this point to be like, there's demand there. Let's get some updated Solaris 7 rules, and the next box set, even though I want it to be Aerospace, the 2 next box sets that come out at the exact same time is Aerospace and Solaris 7. But like I was also talking with Dave yesterday, the battle mats have been a huge success. So it's like, now let's get the Solaris 7 battle mat set. We've got the Savannah, we've got the mountains, we've got the tundra, all this. Give me the arenas, but in neoprene, please.
I think what I'm really interested in about it is, like, you and Dave played 2 matches in 2 hours, and I think something like that would really help Catalyst promote this game to a wider audience. Because I'll be honest, I like Classic. I don't like playing Classic because it's just too tedious. But a 1v1 is not bad. You can get it done in an hour or less. And I think to really capitalize on this box and the momentum of the brand in a larger like Target box store, doing that 1v1 I think is really going to let people schedule things easier. It's so much easier to just schedule a 1v1 than even a 2v2 or whatever, or a giant grand melee where you need 6 or 7 players on the map at once. But if Catalyst jumped on this and offered some sort of like league system pre-published, I think you could be seeing this blow up like X-Wing or something. Everyone shows up with their mats, their train mats, and like one mech, and get a game done in an hour. You could do, a tournament of 1v1 Swiss matches. You could get 16 people done in 3 games. Like that would be huge for BattleTech in general.
Yeah, and so I've mentioned before, right? My intro to the universe was simultaneous with MechWarrior 4, Mercenaries, and the Clicks game. I came in before high school, so probably around 02. It was probably around 02 because it was still Dark Age before they released Fire for Effect, which introduced artillery, and then Death from Above, which introduced VTOLs. But the way WizKids had a system where they published events on a monthly basis, and that went to their officially recognized game stores. And those game stores held the events every week. And it was either on a Saturday or Sunday, whatever. And I would go to these game stores and I would play in the store. Sometimes there was an entry fee usually it was your entry fee was buying one of the Dark Age Clicks blind boxes, which everyone hates. Well, they hated, but now they love the salvage blind boxes, and I'm dumbfounded. Like, but you hated it, but now you don't. That's neither here nor there. That's a whole other conversation. But
I think it was to do with power creep and the clicks.
Yeah, and like I left the game the same. The clicks. The reason everyone else did is Dark Age was like everyone had Dark Age, and then they came out with Age of Destruction and made everything from Dark Age up until that point illegal for official play. So everything that we already owned was no longer legal, and everyone said, "Fuck you, I'm out." And that's why Dark Age, like the clicks, that I think that was ultimately what killed it, is they made everything we owned illegal for official play. But
doesn't feel good.
No. WizKids had a central system. They would publish the events and the theme and the mission for the month to everyone. The game stores had their official judges that ran the events, like Magic. They've got their official judges, and everything and all the match results are reported by the judges to the is to who owns whatever, to WizKids. It was WizKids at the time. For clicks, right? And then all those stats were tracked and published, and you could pull it up anytime, and you could see where you stood on a national scale. And then once a year, there was a national championship where you'd bring your minis, and you'd come and you'd compete in this national championship. And that was awesome. I think at some point in the future, there's a possibility for that. I would love to see it get there. So we're trying... My goal was to try and create something similar to that, but keeping it a fun Solaris theme, but just in the Colorado area. So that's my overall vision for this Colorado Solaris 7 Championship League. But yeah, that's ultimately that's all the things I'm pulling the idea from. My past experiences with the clicks that everyone hates. I enjoyed the clicks until they made my shit illegal. And then, yeah.
Clicks reminds me a lot of X-Wing as far as like the game and tournament formats would go. Because I played in those. I don't know if they were so much narrative when I was playing in them. At the beginning, I think they were just like, hey, everyone show up and play some... They basically just gave prize support for like one store or one game in a store or one tournament in a store a month. But yeah, I mean the whole thing about X-Wing and the old format for clicks was that it was easy to get through a game in a short amount of time. So
it doesn't take up a lot of table space.
It doesn't take up a lot of space. Like both of them take up about 3 feet by 3 feet.
Yeah, clicks was 3 by 3.
Yeah, so was X-Wing. And X-Wing, I think, was 90-minute rounds or 75-minute rounds. I'm sure John can...
75.
Yeah.
By the way, this is present tense. X-Wing is still around, just in a crippled state. Yeah.
John keeps trying to come up and bring my X-Wing stuff to Denver.
There's store championships happening in July, Colorado.
But you got to keep it so that you can get a 1v1 game in, and those results will affect something, or give somebody progress or something. You could do it for a Swiss tournament style at a store, but I think having some way to just submit results of just like, I talked to Mike, we want to fight, so we schedule time in place to meet. The two of us show up, play our game, and then maybe we just upload our record sheets of our mechs at the end of the game to whatever system we put in place to, or you guys put in place to track everything. I think really the record keeping is really what we need to focus on to make it take off, right? You need a rule set just to make it playable, and then you need record keeping to make it
and that was the other big hurdle that I've been trying to game plan through, because as I'm talking through it with Dave, I'm like, okay, this has the potential to have over 40 players, and if the two of us are trying to track fame and C-bills gained and expended on repairs and modifications and all of these other things, buying new mechs, all that stuff, we don't have time for that. And so that's what from the get-go, I'm stressing stable masters. So the stable owners, the team leaders, being their own, the bookies for their team, and having a central system where all of those stable masters can report up to, whether that be a web app or just an Excel sheet or Google Doc that that everyone has access to. Only the stable masters can edit, but then you've got everyone's eyes on for now. Everyone can see it, so everyone is auditing it because no one wants to get cheated, right? Yeah. Something along those lines. And I'm like, I like to consider myself fairly decent at Excel, but I'm not that good. And Greg hit me up on the side and was like, well, fun fact, I do that shit for a living. And I was like, oh, goody, go team. Exactly. So there are people in the community that know how to do specific parts of this really well. And so I think it's just a matter of getting us all synced up and putting all of this on paper and building it and then disseminating it. And then as we go through it, just refining it, which is really how any product is ever handled. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So the idea is live on the Colorado server, and once this hits the airwaves or the digital waves, I don't know. But yeah, I'm excited for it. It seems to be way less daunting than my previous idea. But yeah, no, I'm excited. So stay tuned for any further updates to the Colorado Solaris 7 Championship League that is in the works.
Great, Mike, you're doing awesome, killing it. I do want to say that Ben put up the picture in the green screen group chat of the book, and it is fucking crazy, man. Why is this dude giving another dude a blowjob in the background? I don't get this.
Well, now I gotta think that's what's going on, but
oh yeah, he is.
He's checking his belt to make sure it fits.
Yeah. Can you check my belt for me?
I mean, I like the little sticker on the side of that trash can that says "Shoplifting will get you killed."
Wait, what?
I'm waiting
what
for
clans are there? What clans are those that are checking each other's builds?
That's the Mandrills and the Hellions.
Yeah, that checks out.
I'm waiting for Trend to hop in on that shit.
I think the craziest looking dude is the fucking Clan Wolf guy, honestly. Like, I don't know what's on it. Oh, he has tattoos on his head. But then he has shoulder cuts out in his t-shirts, too. It's like, this is just an awesome outfit.
No, I think he has, like, shoulder pads that are, like,
no, man,
World War I doughboy hats on his shoulders.
Those are his tatted up shoulders. He's got cutouts.
Gosh.
Either one's kind of ridiculous, and I'm not... Ben's got the book. You can zoom in, Ben. Let's get a zoomed in picture of those shoulders.
I mean, it could be cutouts. It could be doughboy helmets. I'm not quite sure.
Wow.
He's also got like a cutout in the middle of his shirt showing off his sternum or something. So I don't know.
Clan culture, best culture. Okay, that brings us to this month's S2 Intel Brief. And this month we're going to cover a Draconis Comine unit, the Ryuken Yon. Now, for those who are unfamiliar, the Ryuken were formed by coordinator Takashi Kurita while the Wolf Dragoons were in their employ the first time in like the 3020s. And basically, he wanted to create a unit that can mimic the tactics of the Dragoons and more or less transfer their expertise into a DCMS line unit. Because at the time, the Draconis Comine was big on the way of the samurai and one-on-one duels. And compared to their opponents, the Lyrans and the Davians, they were a little inflexible. You have examples of a ton of light mechs just being deluged upon some blackjacks and just getting cut down. And you're like, okay, I see why maybe we need to learn. So anyways, that's the gist of how they were formed. And because they were the coordinator's kind of pet project, they were extremely well funded. And they really got kind of the cream of the crop for DCMS cadets and transfers. And, they put a lot of resources into it, and it was a success. And things were going decently, but then because of political intrigue and, schemy, got to be the villains, they ended up antagonizing the Wolf Dragoons for some reason or another. And eventually, yes, they are dumb. When it finally came to blows, they decided to pit the Ryuken against the Dragoons. So basically the students against the mentors, which again is a dumb idea. And it didn't go well for them. Basically 4 Ryuken regiments were shattered by the Dragoons as they left.
Pretty miserably.
That's kind of didn't it? Yes, that is the Battle of Misery, and that did go miserably for them. Rick, thank you for that pun.
Hey, gotta get Rickson.
You're living up to being a dad, man.
That's right.
But despite their kind of ignoble start, the Ryuken would go on to be a reliable, effective unit for the DCMS. And what's very interesting is that a lot like the Legion of Vega, where they stick to less orthodox tactics and are a little bit more flexible and focus more on combined tactics. They did have more success against their opponents, but they also had to kind of defend their methods against their own allies. And especially with what happened during the Battle of Misery, all the Ryuken units basically have a distrust of the main body of the DCMS. But this specific regiment is the Ryuken Yon, one of the 9 Ryuken regiments. Like their sister regiments, their primary color is like a charcoal or neutral gray, nice dark gray. And they have blue accents. Their insignia is a full moon peeking out of clouds. And their specialty is appropriately night tactics. So that's their preferred means of starting a fight. They're also specialists in stealth and infiltration, with a preferred strategy of infiltrating forward units to surround an enemy on 3 sides, and then in the coming attack, basically funnel them into a waiting ambush of SRM carriers, which if you played against an SRM carrier in AS or Classic, you know that it sucks because they do a lot of damage. They would participate in the clan invasion as well. They and their, let's see here. Okay, yeah. All 9 Ryuken regiments ended up on the planet of Wolcott after the DCMS had already successfully held it against Clan Smoke Jaguar. And from there, they would raid Clan Smoke Jaguar and Clan Nova Cat throughout the rest of the invasion and into the Civil War era. Unfortunately, the Ryuken Yon, like many units, met its end in Jihad, courtesy of the Blakis. And in this case, the Ryuken Yon was assembling on the planet of Imbros, and they were ambushed by a fleet of World Blake warships, and that went as well as you would expect. The unit was more or less decimated, and what few survivors there were reassigned to other Ryuken units, and the Ryuken Yon itself was disbanded. And it remains so, despite the fact that other Ryuken units have been reconstituted in the modern era, in the Dark Age. But if you want to be sneaky, mixed tactics, mixed unit, Draconis Comine, mix it up a little bit, and you like painting gray, it's a great unit, and you get to play with them in the Fourth Succession War and Clan Invasion and Civil War. And I guess you could even let them have some fun in the Jihad, so long as you knock them all over at the end of your game. Yeah, that's all I got for the Ryuken Yon. Is there anything I'm missing?
I mean, they're Draconis Comine. What can you say? They're not the typical Draconis Comine, I guess, somewhat.
No.
They got tricksy, and then they got punched in the mouth.
Can't let the bad guys get too good.
Was the Ryuken the one where they started recruiting from the Yakuza?
No, that was the Vega dudes.
Regiments.
Oh, yeah, the Ghost Regiments, yeah. Yeah, Vega was just a bunch of outcasts already.
Yeah. Yep. And then Theodore Kurita basically used them to test his own ideas on how to wage war. And then when those were successful, like their honor was restored, but then eventually they end up still being the units that the DCMS just punts their misfits into.
I like how the
Ryuken remains elite. So
yeah, I like how the Ryuken Yon, like they're determined to forever remember the battle against Wolf's Dragoons on Misery, and traditionally describe the battle in excruciating detail to every new group of recruits.
This is what you have to look forward to.
No popcorn allowed.
Yeah,
that's got to be a bit of a bummer.
And just the general distrust of the DCMS administration. They despise all warriors of the Galadon district and the 8th Sword of Light in particular.
That's deserved, though. You really shouldn't trust the DCMS. You know,
they do some shady shit.
Yeah,
I mean, shady shit. Yeah,
the Dragoons were trying to do their scout the industry thing. I see why they took the contract, but they should have known it was going to end poorly.
It amazes me that they took a second contract too, in the Dark Age era. I still don't
it was like almost 100 years later.
Yeah, you know? They already came to the rescue on Luthen during the Clan Invasion.
Yeah, but that would be like if the United States 100 years later became allies with Britain. You know what I mean?
That'd be
make any sense.
Super far fetched.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyways, we hope you enjoyed this month's Intel brief. We're going to move right along, keep things moving, and we're going to talk about Trials of Bloodright. It happened at Game Nights in Pueblo, Colorado. We had a nice tournament. I believe we had 16 players. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
And it was put together by Luke Johnson. And basically the idea was he wanted to run a fun tournament in the Ill Clan era with the Ill Clan Star League. So basically Alaric Alaric's Star League of the reconstituted Smoke Jaguars, the Black Watch Jade Falcons, and the victorious Clan Wolf. And I think names up for competition were... I can't remember.
Pride, Howl, and Kerensky.
Ooh, those are some good ones. Okay, yeah. So for those who were there, how did it go?
So myself, Dave, BourBen, and Josh, and I just lost his name.
Damien.
So myself, Damien, Dave, BourBen, and my kiddo, we rode down from the Colorado Springs area. Did I say Josh rode down with us? Josh drove by himself.
Just that's a lot of people in one car.
We were in a commuter van, which was hilarious. But so we went down, and then we also had Steven, and he brought a homie from the Springs down there. But it was a great showing. Like you said, there was 16 people.
Yeah, I think so.
And it was a almost fairly even split. There was 4 Falcons, and then the rest was an even split between the Jags and the Wolves. Like I mentioned earlier, I was there to represent Clan Wolf. Kiddo was representing the Jade Falcons. We went into the initial round was a grand melee, and it was a grand melee, absolute free-for-all for all 3 clans at the same time on the same map. And that was chaos, as a grand melee should be. Halfway through turn 1, we realized we needed a way to identify who's representing which clan, so we know who to shoot in the face. So we put some glass beads down, which definitely helped streamline some things. But it was a great time. My Dominator fell on round 2, and I was very sad. I definitely thought I would do longer, but because of the way we all entered the field, I had a wolf right behind me, and I was screwed from turn 1. But yeah, no, it was a good time. Steven won the Jade Falcon blood name, right? Was it Steven?
Yeah, yep. Steven.
Because now you'll see his name changed in the Colorado Discord server as Steven Pride. Who was it that won the Smoke Jag name?
Was that the guy playing Damien?
Yeah.
I can't remember what his name was.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm terrible with names. Always have been, always will be. And then the guy that won the Kerensky name, this was like his 2nd or 3rd time ever playing Alpha Strike. So good on you, bro. There was some great prize support. There was already painted minis given out. Some FPG decals. The individuals that won the blood names, they got 3D printed medallions, which looked awesome. It was a great time all around. Ben, what do you got for your remarks? Ben made it to the 1v1 match.
Yeah, versus Steven. I was playing Jade Falcons, John.
Woo! Were you sick?
I guess we joked about that. I was like, you son of a bitch! You made that motherfucker play fucking Davian Fed Sons for an entire year, and then you come to this and you play Jade Falcons when he fucking can't.
That is pretty messed up.
That's why I did it.
Pride is the name that I wanted too.
I know. I was hoping to get it just to put that even more twist on the knife.
I'm not gonna lie, Ben. I wanted you to win so bad because of
it. I did, man. It was rough
Pride,
though,
Ben
man.
BourBen Pride.
It would have been rough.
What did you bring out to the trials, Ben?
I brought a hammerhead, man. I was stoked just to put one on the table. So I painted one up in just some golden green and was going to run the hammerhead, and it served me pretty well, until I got to that last match with Steven where I was facing a freaking Battlemaster 2C, like 2C2 or some shit, the one that throws like, I think he was throwing 7-7-7-0.
Yeah, it was rough.
Yeah. And I was in a city fight map with him, and I was like,
that was a dense city fight.
It was rough. I could not. I had some long range. I was going to try and keep it long range, and he didn't have any. So I was just going to pick at him a little bit, but he kept closing on me, and I just couldn't stay out of his line of sight. So, I mean, I think we probably went like the first 4 or 5 turns just constantly like hide and seeking the whole time, and it was rough. So
between the initial grand melee and then the secondary grand melee, you and my kiddo were shooting each other so much.
I know. It was one of those things that came down to like me, Steven, and your kiddo, and in the grand melee as the last 3 Jade Falcons, and I think Steven took him out, and I was trying to take Steven out just so I could face your kid. Because I think I had a better shot with that Warhammer 2C he was running.
Yeah, he was in a Warhammer 2C8, which was, what was it, like 3-3, maybe 3-3-3, or I can't remember off the top of my head. But he was rocking a plasma rifles, yeah. So he had 222 heat. Steven was hanging out in the woods a lot because he was stripped of armor.
Yeah,
and he was just desperately trying to survive. The kiddo took a motive hit on turn 1, so he was crawling at 4 inches a turn, but he was in the woods, so he was only moving 2.5 inches.
Yeah, and then I gave him a fire control hit like 3 turns in.
He had a great time. Thanks to everyone that helped him have a positive play experience. He had a lot of fun. I know there was a lot of shots that were about to be taken on him, and then when they found out who it was, they were like, nope, not doing that.
Yeah.
And as a result, he lasted a long time, and he had so much fun. He kept saying to me, he's like, I don't know how I'm still alive. And I'm thinking to myself, I was like, well, I do, but as long as you're having fun, that's all that matters. Yeah. But no, thanks to everyone that was there. We all had a great time. Kiddo had a great time. He's really hype again to start playing BattleTech again on the weekends. And yeah, thanks Luke for putting on the great game. But yeah, that was the Trials of Bloodright.
Yeah, I'm glad. I wish I'd been able to go, but I was on vacation. But I'm really glad that Luke got to have a good event down there. I was really surprised that 16 people showed up. Like, now we're planning for like 8.
Yeah, there's apparently a decent crowd in Pueblo that I think just more than half of them aren't in the Discord server, so we don't know they exist.
Well,
but it was a good showing, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm glad you guys had fun, and I'm glad your kids were able to play, Mike. I mean, for our listeners, Mike has like some really well-behaved son. It's impressive. I remember like the first was like Battle for the Sphere. He was like helping like people like just take down tables at the end of the day.
Oh yeah, he was running around just like chatting.
Yeah.
Oh, the kiddo? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, he's hype, man. Yeah, he had a great time. So he's been asking me for months. He's like, can I play in an event? And this one, this Trials of Bloodright, like it was perfect because you're just going with one mech, so you don't have to try and control like a lance or a star plus and try to, he's only 10, so trying to think tactically about all these and play this really complicated chess game. Like Trials of Bloodright was perfect because it's just one unit he's controlling, so. It was the perfect event to pull them into.
Yeah, that's perfect for kids. You don't want to overwhelm them where they get like that glazed over eyes look and just kind of tune out, which is kind of where I get when I play games with my wife. So, well, thank you for that recap, Mike. It sounds like it was a lot of fun down in Pueblo, and shout out to Luke and Game Nights for putting on such a great event. And congratulations to Steven for winning the Pride Blood name and stopping Ben from torturing me even more. Speaking of Ben, we are going to put the ball on his side of the court as we go into Drink of the Month. What do we have, Ben?
Hey all, this is Ben here, your BattleTech Master of Spirits. Get your mixers, liquors, shakers, stirs, and strainers ready as we cover this month's BattleTech Drink of the Month.
Well, this month's Drink of the Month, since we've had all this chat about Solaris and Solaris 7 and all the fun things you can do on Solaris 7, in a bar in the Black Hills district called the Pelican Bar. It's kind of a high-end bar. They have a particular drink called the Pelican Shooter. And the Pelican Shooter is built by adding 4 ounces of Jack Daniels, a sardine slivered onion, and some celery minced. And you put it all together in a glass, and you add an actual sardine, ignite it, blow it out, and consume immediately after the flames are out. That is your Pelican Shooter. It sounds terrible. I kind of deleted the celery, the onion, and the sardine and just did the straight Jack Daniels. And it tasted fine. So that's your drink of the month.
So you deleted the gross shit.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Did you try it with the actual shit, though?
No, absolutely not. That sounds disgusting.
I'm going to challenge you to...
But you've got to do it for science.
And the loser has to drink it.
Hey, we know how the last batch all you threw down played out.
Oh, shit.
Would John rather drink that drink or have to play Dabian for a year?
Another year.
Oh, would you release him from his servitude if he actually drank that drink?
Yeah, I'd
That's
release
kind
him.
of worthy.
I'd release that. Yeah, I'd let him. I'd cut the bond cord on that one.
Well, it's a fucking sardine, bro.
A win-win. I gotta get to watch Ben drink this shit, or I get to play Good Falcons again.
Just get to drink Navy juice again.
Dude, it sounds like grog.
Navy juice. Dude, I've had pineapple juice to it. Okay, come on.
I've had infantry grog that with dirty socks in it. That sounded better than that.
Yeah, it's rough. That is rough.
Why you gotta be so gross?
I think the key too is make sure you blow the flames out. Don't try and drink it while it's on fire.
Yeah. Important that you give them those instructions.
You might get a little crispy sardine in it. That might not be too bad.
I like sardines. They're good.
You would.
So we're gonna get a video of John making and drinking this drink.
Hey,
no man,
you got to record it. I'll put it on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, the second YouTube video for the Valhalla Club.
The second video on the YouTube channel is John drinking a Pelican Shooter. Oh god,
gross, dude.
That's your drink of the month.
That's the drink of the month.
That's your gross drink of the month.
Hey man, I just do what the books tell me to do.
It's cool. Y'all can skip that one. I won't be. I ain't drinking it.
No. Ben and I have a bet now. It's in the books.
Is that what it is? Wait a minute. What am I getting out of this?
You get to watch him drink.
What do you mean?
I'm just watching you drink it.
You win. Yeah.
And if I lose,
you have to.
You get to watch me drink it. So I don't understand what the bet is. We're just gonna do this thing. Why don't we just both do it?
Oh, that's a good idea. Why don't we just both drink it?
Solidarity, my fellow FedCom.
There we go. No,
he's your bondsman. If you just drink it outright, he has to drink it.
That's true. That's true.
You don't even need to play a game. You just be like, hey, I'm drinking this and you have to too because you're my bondsman, bitch.
Damn.
Damn it. That just backfired, didn't it?
Yeah, it's got a lot worse. All right.
I'm sorry.
Moving on. We're going to go into upcoming action, games to look forward to, events happening in Colorado in the month of July and beyond. I'll take the lead on this one. I'll be running a Wolfnet 350 tournament at Hobbytown Westminster on July 8th. It's only a couple of weeks away. Right now, it's looking like we're going to hit between 16 and 20 players, but there's room for more. So come on in if you want to throw some dice. That being said, I need your list by July 3rd, and event details can be found on the Facebook page and the Discord. We'll be playing again on Saturday, July 8th at Hobbytown Westminster. We'll start rolling dice by 11 a.m. with registration starting about half an hour before that. Moving on. Who wants to cover Tacticon?
I can talk a little bit about that. Tacticon happening over in Aurora, August 24th through 27th. We've got a pretty good lineup of stuff. We are going to have, let's see, Casey is running some monster mechs. I forget what he called it, but it is basically like your Monster Truck Madness, except for BattleTech. So we've got, I don't know how tall they are, like, 8-inch tall mechs or something on giant hex foam mats on the floor or something. So that's,
they're calling it Megatech, right?
That's, I couldn't remember what it's called. So I think it's going to be fun, especially for those, just learning or wanted to jump in for a bit, play around with some bigger, meatier mechs. So that'll be going on almost throughout the entire weekend. I think at least all of Saturday or most of Saturday and Sunday. There will be some classic BattleTech events and scenarios happening both for beginners and for veterans throughout the weekend. I know Jeremy is running one event, I think on Sunday or maybe Saturday. I can't remember, but and then Braden is running another one. And then I'll be running an Alpha Strike event probably on Saturday there as well. It probably won't be a tournament. It'll probably be more campaign-based or narrative-based. I haven't put in the specifics yet, and we're still signing up all the events right now to put into the actual schedule. But there should be plenty to do there if you want to play BattleTech at Tacticon. Come out and play.
Nice. And then that's August covered, and moving into September. Oh, that's exciting. We're going to have Battle for the Sphere. Is that going to be our third year of that?
Yeah, so that's going to be Battle for the Sphere 3. Like I mentioned earlier, it's going to take place on September 23rd at Hobbytown Westminster this year. Session 1 will start at 11 a.m. and run till approximately 2 p.m. Session 2 will start at approximately 2:30 and run till approximately 5:30. Times subject to the fluidity that is tabletop gaming. The initial plan is so Battle for the Sphere is a beginner-focused event. So if you've got some homies that are on the fence, or you think they might be interested, force them to Hobbytown Westminster with you, put them in the car, and just drive there and say, we're going to play a game, because that'll be the time to do it. So the initial plan is to have approximately 5 tables for Classic, 5 for Alpha Strike. Again, these are all learn to play events. 2 tables for Wolfnet 350, 3 tables for Open Play, a grinder table, and then the aforementioned Golden Irby tournament for those that are veterans and not needed to run a learn to play game. So for that, since it's beginner focused, we're going to do only like official mini type stuff, or at least along the lines of what has been officially released so far. So only mechs and battle armor with a limit of 2 battle armor, because only 2 battle armor elementals come with the Clan Invasion box. You can get all the details for this event both on Facebook and Discord. For Facebook, it's going to be in the Colorado BattleTech Facebook group. On Discord, it's going to be the Colorado BattleTech Discord server. In the Battle for the Sphere 3 channel, and it is pinned, but it is also the packet is the most recent post by Dave. So that's got all the details in there. But yeah, that is Battle for the Sphere 3. Let's get it.
I like it. I love Battle for Despair. It's a great event, too, if you are interested in BattleTech, or you have people that you want to get interested in BattleTech, because it is very beginner-friendly.
Like I said, just put them in the car, be like, hey, let's go do something. I got a plan. And if they're the type of individual, hopefully, it's just like, okay, I'm along for the ride. Just go there and be like, now we're playing a game. Force them to learn BattleTech, and they'll get addicted.
I expect
Johnny
to
on
see
the
your
spot,
wife.
guaranteed.
Johnny on the spot. Uh-oh. Told you you're not supposed to see my wife anymore, man.
Who's...
Snap.
Oh, shit.
I expect to see this plan in action, Mike.
I will be at NTC, so I will not be able to partake for Battle for the Sphere 3, which fucking sucks. Because I want to play in that fucking golden derby. I don't want the trophy, but I want to play in it, damn it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right, Matt. And Matt, we have exciting news.
Yeah.
You, it sounds like, are going to be the point man for BattleTech at LVO in 2024.
I am. For better or for worse, I will be running whatever is happening at Las Vegas Open for BattleTech. So Las Vegas Open, it's crazy that we're talking about it already, but since it's already kind of like out in the works and out to the public, the Las Vegas Open 2024 will be occurring January 18th through the 21st. Thursday is basically the setup day, so the real action happens Friday through Sunday. I will give some general details about BattleTech at that event, and it is a big one. I mean, it's a big regional con. Has been predominantly kind of Warhammer and everything else that Frontline supports, but they've really wanted to have BattleTech there and are excited to have us there. So I've worked quite a bit with the organizer, and we've got some general things out with the tickets. So I'll kind of go over quickly what tickets there are. So basically there are 4 different tickets you can get for LVO for BattleTech. And it's basically split between Alpha Strike and Classic BattleTech, 2 each. And within both of those, there's a Friday only ticket, or you can get the whole weekend ticket. So that's Friday, Saturday, Sunday events for either. So the reason that is because if you want to have a one-day event, it has to be on Friday, or it almost always has to be on Friday. So that's what we'll be having. And then we were actually able to get it so that if you buy the whole weekend pass, you basically get a day for free. And these are actually some of the lowest cost events at LVO. So it was really nice that they've really shown that they want us there, and they've been able to keep the price there. So I'll just start with Alpha Strike. Alpha Strike, one-day event on Friday. It's $35 for the ticket. I mean, you have to pay the badge for the convention. That's another price. I'm not sure what that is. But just for the Alpha Strike event, it's $35. And that Friday-only Alpha Strike event will be a WolfNet AS350 Premier Tournament. And it's looking like it will be Civil War only, so it'll be era limited. It's, all the pomp and jazz that comes with a WolfNet 350 Premier Tournament. So official minis, nice paints, lots of organization. The WolfNet guys will most likely be there. I've talked to Aaron and Andrew, and they said they're pretty keen on going again. We'd like to get some community help for like maps and terrain and stuff from the people here in Colorado. But if it all goes south, then I'll just make Charles do it. So yeah, shots fired, Charles. So that'll be the Friday only ticket. You can just buy that ticket. Just go for that if you want. You do have to get the full the convention ticket as well. But that's up to you what you want to do there. If you want to do Alpha Strike the whole weekend, you basically pay for 2 days. So 35 times 2 equals 70. You get a third day for free. $70 will get you, as far as Alpha Strike, if you do it the whole weekend, you get the WolfNet 350 tournament on Friday. And then Saturday and Sunday, you can choose one of 2 events. So those 2 events will be either you play a campaign in a day-ish. It's ish because it's not just one day. And this will be based on one of the let's see. It's one of the Turning Point's source books, which are generally kind of written for classic BattleTech, but they can be adapted for Alpha Strike. And they have, some of the ingredients are there for sure. So it'll be a campaign. The campaign is not, the details are not there for that yet. But it will probably be, well, I won't give it out. Details forthcoming. So it'll be Alpha Strike, and campaign a day means that you will have some accounting between scenarios. You'll be replacing mechs. You'll be repairing units. There'll be it's going to be your team versus the other team, and it's a lot of fun. We've been doing a good number of these here with our Battlefronts and with other events, and it's been a lot of fun. Well, maybe Rick, you can say if it's fun. What do you think?
The campaigns in the day, yeah, they're
the Battlefronts.
Yeah, those are a lot of fun. I played in both of them. Nice narration.
Rick shot me in the head in it.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Oh. My mongoose killed your rifleman or something?
Was it a Battlemaster? You shot?
Banshee? No. Never forgotten it.
Oh, yeah. It was a Banshee you shot in the head. That hurt me.
No, I think the Battlemaster took it in the face, and then the Banshee just died from volume fire or something.
Being pummeled.
John's units are used to taking it to the face.
Yeah, Oh, no.
It's an exercise that I have them drill. Drop to the knees and take it to the face.
Oh my gosh!
Remind me not to touch John's minis.
Yes.
This is why we have to label explicit.
Anyhow, they're a lot of fun. And I think people really enjoy them. So that's one of the things that you can do on Saturday and Sunday. The other, and these are just kind of the official events. The other is what we're calling BattleTech Escalation. So this will be an escalation type event where you will play at least 2 Solaris style games. And the first one will most likely be just 1 unit. The second one you'll have 2 to 3 units. So it's going to get crazy. The next, after that, you'll kind of keep beefing up your squad, and you will play at least 2 games of classic BattleTech. And after that, you will play at least 2 games of Alpha Strike. So you're going to keep moving up and adding your units into your squad, and the scenarios will get different and stuff like that. So that is BattleTech Escalation. And again, more details to come. So that's the Saturday Sunday events. So now flipping over to classic BattleTech, somewhat similar. There's a Friday only ticket, and it's only $30 for classic BattleTech, just basically because we use up less table space with classic BattleTech usually. That event is called BattleTech Through the Ages, and basically what it is, you're going to start off with a force. You're going to play a scenario in a particular era. It'll probably be an earlier era, maybe Renaissance or Clan Invasion or something like that. And then we'll move. We'll do a little bit of accounting between scenarios, and we'll move to a new era. So maybe we might jump from Renaissance to Civil War. Or we'll jump from Clan Invasion to Civil War. So each subsequent scenario or game is going to be in a subsequent era. We might jump some. We might skip some. But the idea is that your force is going to change bit by bit till in the end you'll probably have a completely new force when we get to the last era of the game. So that's BattleTech Through the Ages, and again, that's using classic BattleTech rules. That's the Friday. Then on Saturday and Sunday you have the option of, and this is if you can do the whole weekend again, and it's double, so it's only $60 for classic BattleTech to do the whole weekend worth of tickets. Again, we're going to be doing a scenario in a day-ish, and this is going to be run by our great compatriot here, BourBen. He's going to be running one of the Turning Points scenario packs that he has helped author. So it'll either be it'll be one of 2.
One of 2 so far. So it'll either be happening in I guess Helm is in which era technically? It's in Succession Wars.
And it'll either be that or in Civil War, I guess is the other one that
maybe
we'll see.
Maybe.
So
We'll
there,
see.
yeah. So that should be another fun one where it's another campaign where it'll take all of Saturday and a good amount of Sunday to get through it. But again, it'll be your team versus the other team, and it's a lot of fun. The other thing is that you can choose to do is also BattleTech Escalation. So it'll, anyone that chooses BattleTech Escalation, because it's that combination of Solaris, Classic BattleTech, and Alpha Strike, you're all going to be thrown together. And you can choose that from either of these all-weekend tickets. So that's kind of the basic information. There will be more forthcoming. It's still pretty far out, to be honest. So that's why things are kind of basic. But within the next couple months, we should have player packets all prepped up and pronto for everyone to look at and argue at and throw mud in my face or something. But to be honest, LVO will be more organized this year. And will be well supported one way or another, and we hope to see it there. You can already start buying tickets for LVO 2024, and hope to see you all out there for a lot of fun.
I do have a question. I know it's early.
Hit me.
But is Catalyst going to have a fucking booth?
That I cannot speak to. It's kind of debatable. It's not a slam dunk.
I mean, it's fair.
I'll say that.
I know they're busy.
I'm not certain there will be one there.
I was a little salty.
Yeah, and they can only support so many. I think is the issue. So.
And I know, and I get that. I was a little salty, and maybe still am. That the first convention I ever fucking go to, they don't have a booth at, and I was sad about it. But I still had a great time at LVO 23. Yeah. The Wolfnet tournament was great. The doubles tournament was great. And since I know the trusty Matt, who can who leads everything beautifully. I trust Matt. We're gonna make T-shirts. I trust Matt, and BourBen's gonna be there too, in charge of some shit. And Wolfnet, I might have to go back. I didn't plan on going back to LVO, but I might have to now because it already sounds way better than it was this year. So, yeah. Definitely concur. Everyone keep your eyes out on details for LVO 24. Should be lit.
It'll be fun and not only, with the official things, but I really hope to kind of organize things even on the social side so that we've got kind of, podcaster meetup and come meet all the people and, whatever, just to kind of make it more of a real community and really show off the game as well. So should be a good time, guys. Everyone that's listening. So yeah, come and have fun.
It's awesome, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Matt, the OneNote we talked about way earlier in the recording, you have access to that. So if you want to create a tab for LVO and put all of your resources and everything into that, by all means.
I probably will do so as things come out, and they're kind of being worked on by other demo agents as well. So
check the OneNote.
Yeah, I just want to throw out there before we move on that Dip the Tip. Let's do it. Valhalla Club Wednesday nights, and then Thursday nights in the Colorado Discord will be another Dip the Tip going on for those guys.
Oh, so, I like that idea.
If you can make both, go for it. And if you can only make one, just show up, man. And no, we're generally planning to start at 6:00 Mountain Time, but if you show up later, that's cool. People just hop in, hop out all night. We talk about what we're painting, or we watch or make fun of Dave playing MechWarrior 5 poorly. He's not good, but
or when he crashes a Mustang, P-51 Mustang into the ground because he's a horrible pilot.
Mostly it's paint while you make fun of Dave's video gaming.
I approve.
Poor Dave's not even here to defend himself.
Yeah, that's what happens, man.
That's what makes it so much better. The whole time we're doing this, the second Grand Melee, which didn't feed into a tournament, and he's like, "I'm just here to kill Mike." I'm like, "There's a lot of other people on the table." He's like, "Nope, I'm just here to kill you." I'm like, "Okay, then I'm at least gonna make it somewhat difficult because fuck you, bro."
Oh man!
So crash into the ground in your P-51 Mustang. You can't fly, bitch.
I need to get you guys playing real simulators and not War Thunder.
There's a lot of anger.
I would love to play a real simulator. Please. I have a sudden need.
Come on, man. I'll too.
For simulating.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think this is leading in perfectly to our shout-outs.
On that note.
Yeah. Shout out to Dave. Go fuck yourself, Dave.
Go fuck yourself, Dave.
Oh my gosh. Oh jeez.
To be fair, he probably knew it was coming, man.
Oh my.
Mike, who you shout out this week?
All right, my shout outs for this month are Randy, Braden, Greg, Rick, you fine ass, Josh, Dusty, and everyone else that has piped up. There's been a lot of folks in the newly created Colorado Solaris 7 League chat, given their insights and input and expertise and lessons learned. I appreciate all of it. It was an idea, and you guys fucking ran with it. I need to compile all of this shit, and it's a lot, into a Word doc. I know we're planning on, at some point, relatively soon, to be determined, hop into a voice chat and try and iron some of this shit out. But no, I just appreciate all of the ideas, all of the assistance, all of the help. Like I said, it was an idea. As we all know, some ideas can be bad. But apparently this one wasn't, and y'all ran with it, and I want to see this blow up into some awesome shit. So thank all of you for your input, and I look forward to polishing this product and getting it out to the masses and getting the show on the road. So that's shout-outs from me.
There's one thing I know about Mike. He loves polishing.
Oh, jeez. I knew it was coming. Once he said it.
I did too, man.
Why did you guys put John in charge?
It was his turn.
Because they're dumber than me.
We all lost initiative.
It was past his turn. He hasn't ran anything since 1.5.
Forced upon us.
Yeah. Foisted.
We all lost initiative.
All right, Ben. How about you? Tell me what your shout-outs are.
My shout-outs this month go to NC Kestrel over on the Wolfnet Discord. He's been the rock of reality that we all fall upon when we start talking rules for Alpha Strike. So I've just been watching him explain some things to a lot of people over the last few weeks, and he's really kept a cool head about it. And so kudos to you, man. My other shout outs to the Sarna team, doing a lot of research for some writing stuff I'm doing, and I've been down a long, dark rabbit hole for a couple of weeks.
Is for everybody, bro.
I mean, I go on Sarna deep dives on like mechs and units and stuff, but Ben's over here like researching different continents of Solaris 7.
Like, I mean, you start down a path and you're finding out who somebody was married to and what they did, and then you're like, what battle was that? And then you're in that battle, and it's
next thing you know, you're finding out what sort of geography and geological layers are in a made-up world.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So shout out to the Sarna team, man. They're
nice.
They're doing God's work over there.
Yeah,
the Ilkon's work.
Keeping the writer's wiki going, as Rick would say.
Just give me starting places, man. That's not my sources, but it gives me a place to go and find where I need to go, kind of thing. So.
Nice.
That's
How
all
about you, Rick, our guest?
I mean, I have to echo Ben. NC Kestrel is awesome. Anytime anyone comes up with a question, like I always feel like when he starts typing and I see him start typing, like, oh no, I've either really bothered him or he's going to be super helpful. But I think he's just super helpful. But also, shout out to you guys having me back on the show. I mean, that's cool.
Woo-woo.
And everyone else shout out to everyone who's been showing up to the Dip Your Tips, because they're pretty fun. People are painting stuff, and that's pretty cool.
Tips have been dipped.
Yep, they'll get dipped again.
Yeah.
Why does it sound so threatening when you say it?
Dips are being tipped. But yeah, no, I mean, it was 2 months ago, Rick, when me and you popped up in the WolfNet chat about our suggestions.
Oh, the aerospace stuff?
Aerospace stuff. And he was really receptive. Kestrel was. And he mentioned, I just haven't had a lot of feedback on aerospace stuff. So that's why there's been no errata to aerospace rules. Mm-hmm. And we're like, okay, well, we have ideas. Mm-hmm. And he was really receptive to it. So, definitely second and third NC Kestrel. You're the Well, no, can't say that.
No.
You're just the best.
Uh-oh. He's the best.
He's the best. Ben knew what I almost said.
Simply the best.
That's a whole nother dude.
A whole nother dude.
All right. Good job, Mike. And how about you, Matt? What about your shout-outs?
It was actually Rick, but I'm sorry.
I'm going to shout out Guesty, because he is doing some good work with his YouTube stuff, especially in conjunction with Pirate. But Justy's been doing a good job, and he's a good guy, and I appreciate how he's he's always promoting BattleTech, MRC, Mega Mech, all those
Justy
things.
now has his own channel and booth in the Valhalla Club.
And he fully deserves it. Working hard. One more. I don't even know who to actually address this to, but whoever was the person that drew this cover for the MechWarrior's guide. Thank you, because now all I see on this is David with the FedSon's hat and Mike staring intently at his hunchback being destroyed. And there's John in the back with his little Krita badge, just staring half drunk, just glazing over. This is awesome. Thank you, whoever did this. And that's that. I'll leave it at that.
All right, John. Shout out. It's
awesome.
Well, I'm just going to give a shout out to the Hobbytown Westminster crew, because you're the guys I play with the most, and it's awesome. I always like sitting down and getting a game going on. So shout out to John, OG John. Yeah, because
you're young John.
I'm gonna shout out myself.
Max G, Greg, Dusty, Braden, Ben, Tom, Jeremy. Stretching.
How's your memory, bro?
I'm 9 deep, and that's not even halfway through the list. But the rest of you, you're just as important.
Aren't you usually 9 deep? Man, you set it up. I'm sorry.
Yeah. You just let that one ride.
Don't be that person. Your nickname was "Don't be that guy."
That's true.
Hey, man, you started this shit.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I've had too many drinks to deal with your shit right now. I don't know what to say. Yeah,
that's what the Valhalla Club's all about.
Yeah. Woo! Ending in a blaze of fire and a train derailment.
Here we go again.
Yes.
This will be a fun edit.
Yep.
Yeah. Don't you worry about that, Mike.
I think that's last call for some folks.
That might be last call.
Last call.
Thanks, everybody. Last call. Thanks for joining us today in the Valhalla Club. Special thanks to our sponsor, Ares Games and Miniatures. Ares is the premier online retailer for all your BattleTech needs. You can contact us at thevalhallaclub@outlook.com. If you are in Colorado, please join your local community group on Facebook and Discord. If you are able to help support your local Colorado BattleTech community, subscribe on Patreon to Colorado BattleTech. This Patreon account is used to supply prize support for local events and assist in venue costs. Links for the Valhalla Club Discord, the Colorado BattleTech Patreon, and Facebook group are in the show notes. Until next time, Mech fans.
By the way, guys, I've been thinking about this new tour idea where we all go to see the Titanic.
It's really safe, I hear.
Yeah, I'm building the ship right now in my backyard.
You got any extra PlayStation controllers?
Oh, man.
No, I used them all up.
Best I could do was GameCube.
I got you, bro.
I'll take it even worse, a Nintendo 64 controller.
That has more controls than that Logitech controller.
No, you need the original Nintendo.
Ooh, there you go. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like 4 buttons.
A D-pad.
The submarine can only go in 4 directions.
Up, down, left, right, up, down. It's a cheat code.
I want you guys to correct me. I want you to look back at this picture. I'm enthralled with this picture now. At the MechWarrior's Guide to Solaris 7, and there in the middle in the back is like this woman pulling this dude down, and in her other hand, does she not have a gun?
Pull his back
That's probably what he wants her to think.
Wait. MechWarrior Guide to what? To clans or to Solaris 7?
She's...
to the Solaris
I couldn't
7.
find a good photo of it.
So
Like
I'm looking at it on eBay, and it lets you zoom in on the cover. It's pretty good.
Oh, eBay. All right. I'm going to go to eBay.
Try that. Yeah, it looks like she's about to shoot that dude in the face.
She's gonna, yeah.
She's trying to shoot.
And all the stories in this one, yeah.
Why does this dude in the left look so...
So much like Dave?
Yeah, he's pretty suspect with his hand in the nether regions there.
All right, I gotta bounce.
Everyone's ripped in this, though. Holy moly. No one skips
See you, Ben.
a day.
I'm gonna catch you guys later.
Later, Ben.
This is going on far too long.
I do like the Curitan kind of like oh my god, not Javier Bardem, but
the guy in the back on the back right behind the.
Who's the guy from Sicario?
Del Toro or
Josh Nolan.
No,
I'm talking about
the Hispanic guy.
Yeah,
Del Toro.
I know
yeah, it's like they put Del Toro in yellow face.
I love.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, but wait, who's getting a gun pull? Oh, yeah, there's like a chick. Like he's about to like.
He thinks he's gonna get some action, and
rubbing her legs, and she's like about to Han Solo him.
Exactly.
Gun. Yeah. Why is this dude scratching his dick in the back left? Did we already talk about that?
Back left.
The guy he's like leaned against the stairs.
Oh yeah, that's when we were talking about. Yeah.
Damn, dude, the chick coming down the stairs has like really defined quads. Holy moly!
I feel like everyone in the BattleTech universe is just a fitness model.
He's roided up. Is there like a ghost?
Okay, I gotta stop looking at this.
Why is there a blue person? Hold on.
I think it's a picture on the wall through the light. I think is what they're trying to do. But Ghost Man,
blue person.
Ghost Man is screaming. Yeah, and then the big bad bald guy looks like a villain from like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I think he's an elemental. He's got the Jade Falcon.
Oh yeah.
Do the clans get to Solaris?
I feel like
think they'd be interested in.
I think they do because it's like it's really deep down.
Well, I think the guy scratching his nuts is Novacat. I'm trying to look at his emblem on his shoulder.
Yeah, and what's the emblem?
There is some
Diamond Shark.
Yeah.
The dude that's going to get blasted.
There is some clan warriors that end up in the arenas.
The Fed Sons guy and the Cappy looking that fucking like like the caption should be like when the job asks you to read or something like that. It's like,
oh man. This is truly incredible.
You know what's it's got the Dark Age MechWarrior logo. Like how this book can't be super 80s ancient.
No, it
got to be like late 90s, early 2000s.
Look of it.
So that's the same logo they used on like Clicky Tech.
Yeah, that's the same WizKids logo for Clicky Tech. Yep.
I mean, it's got the FASA logo, so I guess it's before, like slightly before, but WizKids just kept the logo or something.
I do like that the Elemental's flipping the table, and like the one dude smoking his cigarette isn't even like disturbed. Like he's just rotated 90 degrees.
So,
like,
so to answer your question earlier, there were various clan gladiator pilots essentially in Solaris 7, and there is also at least one official canon clan stable on Solaris 7, and it is the Zellbriggen Stables. Really? It is a clan operated Solaris 7 stable. It was founded in 30s. Where is it? Well,
I mean, I feel like the clans would love Solaris.
Yeah, that'd be like their thing, right?
Zellbriggen Stables was formed by disgruntled clan Jade Falcon warriors from their embassy based on Cathay section of Solaris City. So, yeah, there's at least one clan stable, like 100%.
You think they
news to me?
Do matches with like elementals against mechs?
I still don't understand how that can be like done in a trial. I
can see that.
Like, what fucking elemental will be like, yeah, I'm going to go against your mech? It's like, what?
The stable was formed in 3062, so that is right at the cusp of Civil War. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, I learned one.
I'm
thing
here for
today.
y'all.
Oh wait, Rick. So can we have the tip and I don't know, something penis related?
So like two different names for the two different events.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Dip the tip, rub the shaft. Nope. That one's just explicit. Actually, they're not so clever about that one.
Just dip the tip.
Caress the.
I don't know. If anything, I would probably have it as dip the tip because that's what we branded it as at this point on the podcast server. And then for the Colorado server, you just have it as paint night. I don't know.
It's just out of curiosity. Can you guys hear my cat screaming in the background?
Nope.
Would you stop the throttling if we could?
I wish, man. I really do. He's my wife's cat. And anyways, but like when we get home from being away, he just runs around the house screaming. It takes him like 8 hours to get it out of his system.
When I drove down here from Anchorage, I had the cats with me in the cab of the U-Haul.
Oh my God.
We had them in a dog crate with disposable litter liners type things.
Mm-hmm.
And they screamed the entire 4,000-mile trip. And every time they would finally settle down and like go to sleep, not even 20 minutes later, we had to stop for gas, and that woke them up every time. So I had screaming cats for 4,000 miles.
Could you replicate the sound so that we?
When I made that journey with my 3 cats, I had a similar situation, except I didn't give them litter unless we were in the hotel. But the one would just scream until I let him out, and he would just sleep in my lap as we drove.
That's good.
It was great. It was great until we hit a deer in the middle of Canada, and the cat went, like, flying onto the windshield.
Oh, fuck no.
Yeah. He survived.
Poor kitties.
Mike, I just want to let you know that you can say thank you and at any time for the post-run bloopers. That was what the cat voice was. So.
Yeah. I wanted to put in basically an episode preview so people kind of know what's coming their way, coming down their throats, so to speak. and then I'll
Did you just say what's coming down their throats? Is that what I just heard?
He's Navy, man. He's used to having shit in his throat.
I don't understand why they wouldn't give me shit about
my.
I mean, it's like when I volunteered as a community leader, I'd be like, yeah, all right, here's the plan of the day. This is what's coming down our throats today. You know what I mean? Cool. I don't like that expression. Yeah, it's weird.